of Israel, we've got to survive. Children of Israel, we've got to stay alive. Survival is the game, and it's still the same in creation. Even among nations, none shall escape the judgment. Those persecutors of Israel, right from the throne of Zion to the rivers of Babylon. I walk the valley of darkness, and I will fear no evil. The hotter the battle, the sweeter the victory. The hotter the battle, the sweeter the victory.
Peace and greetings again. This is Sister Emel. I wanted to go into a different part of our topic of discussion. We've been talking about being a keeper at home, and I wanted to look into the Industrial Revolution and how that affected the women, especially in America and in some parts of Europe. So I'm going to continue to use one of our book, and Women, Race, and Class by Angela Davis, and of course our scriptures for our discussion. Now, Satan's deception is quite twisted. We first looked at the woman in the very beginning of our discussion and how she dealt with things within herself. But now we're going to look at how Satan systematically began to deal with the family and household and try to break down the purpose and status of the woman and the family life structure, and how this kind of led to that unfulfilled or so-called unfulfilled life that women may feel, and what they do and how they are connected to their community. So during the Industrial Revolution, this is just really a short synopsis about it. But I really want to look at how it affected the woman and the home life. There was an increase of the factories, and which was an increase of goods. Now, the so-called rich man or capitalist is more interested in mass producing than in the quality of life for individuals and families. He's into profit. He or she is into profit and making gain. Now remember what the scripture says about that. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. Now love of money is not just the actual paper dollar, but in essence it's the love of gain. It's the love of profit, of gaining the material things of this world, the power and prestige of this world, and not storing up treasures in heaven with the Most High. So this is what Satan has turned the world to serving, and he did this over time. Now, so we're going to go right into Angela Davis, page 227, and look at how the Industrial Revolution began to change the home. Okay, page 227, and it reads, since spinning and weaving were traditional female domestic occupations, women were the first workers recruited by the mill owners to operate the new power looms. So now, at first you had a home-based economy where the spinning, the weaving, the making of garments, all those things happened in or around the home. Now the cities are calling the women into the cities, are calling the women into outside of the house to produce, to mass produce the same things that she used to do at home. Now, what does that do? Of course, that's affecting the children and the husband. Now, in other places that we'll read, if you look into your Encyclopedia Britannica, different places like that, it'll tell you also that the whole family sometimes was hired to work in the factory until there were child labor laws and dealing with the conditions of the factories and the hours that people worked and so on. So, but this is what began to happen. Industry began to pull the woman outside of the home because of wages, okay? And because of, hey, you know, I can probably make more money going to the factory than producing, you know, the little goods at home. So here's the roller coaster ride of what Satan is starting to do. So we're going to continue on. It says that here on the same page, it says, as industrialization advanced, shifting economic production from the home to the factory, the importance of women's domestic work suffered a systematic erosion. That means it broke down systematically. It wasn't just perhaps, but it was on purpose. Okay? Women were the losers in a double sense, as their traditional jobs were usurped or domineered by the burgeoning factories. The entire economy moved away from the home, leaving many women largely bereft of significant economic roles, or left bare of significant economic roles to perform in their household. Okay, so if we remember this, because this has it's a key to this. It says, by the middle of the 19th century, the factory provided textiles, candles, and soap. Even butter, bread, and other food products began to be mass-produced. Again, why? Because of the capitalists or the rich men wanting to produce more profit for their individual gain. Okay, so let's continue on and see what else happens here. We're going to go a little bit backwards into page 225 of the same book. Look at more of what this did to the woman in the home. Okay, it says here, in advanced capitalist societies, on the other hand, the service-oriented domestic labor of housewives, cooking and cleaning, who can seldom produce tangible evidence of their work, which is now cooking and cleaning, diminishes the social status of women in general. Now, haven't we seen that? How many women now, you know, just being honest with ourselves, want that for ourselves? We want to be good wives for those who want to be married. We want to be good mothers. But we are told, well, if you're going to do that, you must stay at home, cook, and clean. And that is your only purpose. And as we've learned from the scriptures, first of all, that is not true. We have much more of a mandate and a responsibility to our families and homes and to our community. But Satan, through the demise of prophet,